The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
The project has a life of mine 21 years, starting with potentially producing over 200,000 of tons of London LME copper plate per year, and then moving into annual production approximately 148,000 tons across all 21 years.
All right, welcome back inside our Proactive newsroom, and joining me now is Kirill Klip. He is the executive chairman of TNR Gold. And Kirill, it's great to see you again. How are you?
I'm fine, Steve. Hello from Vancouver today, right? To me.
Yes, lots of stuff to talk about. It's been very busy, and you've been very busy, including news out today. So why don't we start there? And this is you've received approval now. You've completed this strategic investment by Altius. So tell me a little bit of background on this and what this all means.
Yes, Steve, you are always in the loop with all our news. You are correct. Just half an hour ago, we are so pleased to report to all our shareholders that finally we closed our financing with Altius. They're taking a strategic stake of 9.9% in our company. And basically, it's a major vote of confidence in the TNR Gold team, in our strategy, in our royalty portfolio. We received our first Michelin star in this business.
Absolutely. And so that's now reached to completion. And this is really about your gold project, right?
Yes, they are very interested in our royalty portfolio, first of all, but also now we are putting on the radar screen of all industry insiders our Shotgun Gold project in Alaska.
Okay. We've got also lots of news happening as far as mcewenmining is concerned. They put out some news recently, very significant news about this project debt financing. And this is obviously a key milestone in the development of this project.
Yes, Steve, you are correct. And it's another example why royalty giant like Altius with 2.9 billion market cap in Canada is so interested in our company that they took the strategic stake. Rob McEwen is doing his wonderful job advancing the giant Los Azules copper project in Argentina, and now we are talking about moving it into financing stage. And McEwen Copper reported that they employed Societe Generale in order to organize the debt portion of financing for Los Azules. And as you know, they're already talking about potential IPO by the end of this year in the amount $300, maybe $400 million. And now Societe Generale will take care about all structuring, insuring, and working with potential debt providers, which will involve banks, potential bond issuance, and a lot of schemes involving the so-called export financing, because Rob McEwen already announced before that they have pre-committed $1.1 billion, mostly for mechanical equipment, in order to supply it for building the mine in Argentina.
Yeah. Also some news about Rio Tinto potentially raising its stake in that project as well.
Yes, that could be another kicker to all valuation of the story, of course. Rio Tinto already is deeply involved with McEwen Copper. They are holding now a stake. Basically, they invested $100 million in the project via the Nuton venture. And this Nuton technology could open a new, very exciting chapter for development of Los Azules. And now Bloomberg reported a couple of weeks ago that Rio Tinto is taking a very serious consideration in order to increase their stake in this project. And as you know, we discussed it before that I personally think that Rio Tinto could be that home who can build this project because it's the second largest mining company in the world. BHP is already very actively involved with London mining in Argentina, and for Rio Tinto, it will be a very interesting strategic move.
Yeah. And speaking of Argentina, they have this program called RIGI, a large investment incentive regime. And there's been some news and collaboration coming out of that as well.
Yes, that's correct. So basically, Rob McEwen made his magic again, and he prepares the project for the stage very well. Now the project has been accepted in this RIGI program. It's a large incentive regime in Argentina, which means 30 years of fiscal and legal stability for the development of this kind of project with this enormous magnitude. And it's very important that tax rate will be applicable to this project will be lower very important that you can pay dividends. It will be allowed in order to repatriate the profits, etc. So it's a very favorable tax regime and fiscal regime and legal certainty for 30 years. And as you mentioned, IFC now involved its International Financial Corporation. They signed a collaboration agreement with mcewenmining, and they will be working together with Societe Generale, and potentially they could become a lead lender in order to develop Los Azules copper.
So obviously there's lots of work that's still going on there and trying to de-risk the project. And one of that is a life of mine and life of project. And there's some news out about an additional 33 years potentially for this one.
Yes, if you could believe it. News are coming very hot from Argentina this spring. So basically in feasibility study, it was defined that project has a life of mine 21 years, starting with potentially producing over 200,000 of tons of London LME copper plate per year, and then moving into annual production approximately 148,000 tons across all 21 years. But now evolving this Nuton technology by Rio Tinto, Rob McEwen is talking about additional 33 years to the line of mines previously defined by the feasibility study. So project is getting to a whole new level in this development in Argentina.
And Kirill, obviously you know a lot about this project, and this is a very important one to your company because of your NSR royalty, and you've been provided with some few projections from mcewenmining about the potential for this royalty. I know it's a substantial one for the company.
Yes, you're exactly right. As you know, we are building TNR Gold as a green energy metals royalty and gold company, and we are holding NSR royalty on the entire Los Azules project. We are holding 0.4%, and out of it, 0.04% we are holding on behalf of a shareholder. And it was very interesting in one of the latest news releases, Rob McEwen, based on the release feasibility study and applicable new copper prices, he was talking about expectation for his royalty, which he is holding with his company McEwen Inc. on Los Azules copper. His royalty holding there is 1.25% NSR royalty, and he was talking that at the recent increased copper prices at the level of $5.8 per pound, he is expecting that his royalty could generate over $500 million over life of mine defined in feasibility study. And at the level of copper price in the feasibility study, which was taken at $4.35 per pound, he is expecting now almost $400 million. So all our shareholders now can pick up their calculators and spend some time calculating very interesting numbers potentially for TNR Gold for the benefit of all our shareholders. What we can expect from this giant project.
Yeah, well, there's certainly there's no shortage of copper being used in the future, and these type of projects are very important for sure. Kirill, thanks so much. Boy, you're lots of great news today as always, and appreciate the full update. And we'll talk again soon. Okay.
Thank you very much, Steve. Our regards from very hot London today.
All right. Yeah, very busy. Kirill Klip, he's the executive chairman of TNR Gold.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.